My wife was offended by something my best friend's girlfriend said, which I found to be benign. Now my wife won't talk to her, and it's causing a huge issue in our friend group. I feel like she needs to apologize, and I don't know how to say that to her. My 30M wife 29F started a fight with my best friend's 30M girlfriend 30F, and I think my wife is in the wrong. What do I do? To be as vague as possible, since my wife is a Redditor, I will give a high-level overview of the situation. To preface this story, I feel like it's important to state that my wife, Mary, has severe anxiety and is going through a negative time in her life. One of her triggers is the perceiving that anyone is thinking about her negatively, giving her negative or critical feedback. She's also been more anxious recently because work has been super stressful for her, and I am unfortunately unemployed at the moment, laid off for the past few weeks, receiving unemployment benefits currently, looking for jobs every day. So finances have been stressing her out too. Quite honestly, our relationship is taking a hit at the moment. I won't say that her anxiety is the reason, but her unchecked anxiety and unwillingness to go to therapy is a major issue on my side. Therapy is free through her employer in case anyone has concerns about that. Anyway, on to the issue. My best friend started dating a lovely girl last year, Audrey, and my wife and her have gotten pretty close, and she and I have gotten close as well. I was under the impression that they had been talking regularly, and that some of it probably had to do with our relationship, which I find that normal. Well, I come home the other week and my wife is crying uncontrollably and is completely distraught. According to my wife, she had been venting about her anxiety about my unemployment to Audrey, and she told me that Audrey told her something along the lines to get a grip and stop being so anxious because it was making everything worse. Obviously, I was appalled and concerned, so I texted my friend asking what was going on and told him what my wife said. He sent back screenshots of my wife and Audrey's conversation, and it was nothing like she had described. Audrey was actually, in my opinion, really supportive and understanding, but did offer the feedback that maybe it might be helpful for her anxiety to seek out professional help. She also did tell my wife, verbatim from the text, the following: "I say this from a place of having gone through the same. You should try very hard to stay conscious of your anxiety and explore where it's coming from. I am worried it might be coming from a place of feeling like you need control in a situation where you don't have any." My wife didn't respond to her last text. Audrey is now aware of Mary's reaction. She's reached out to me and said she was feeling confused and a little offended because all she was trying to do was encourage Mary to work through her anxiety. I agree with her, but I don't want to go against my wife, so I said I understand in an attempt to be neutral. Today, my wife refuses to talk to Audrey, despite Audrey reaching out multiple times, and she says that she doesn't want to be her friend anymore. It's causing a huge rift in our friend group because the four of us used to hang out all the time. Now my best friend won't come over in my house, and my wife clearly is upset and I want to go over to his. Audrey is devastated because she feels like Mary is choosing her mental illness and anger over her. That's what my friend told me. It's just a total shit show. I 100% feel like my wife is in the wrong, but I am terrified of telling her that. I think me and her husband telling her that she messed up and needs to apologize will cause her to completely break down. I know that Mary obviously needs therapy desperately, but nothing I said gets through to her. Is there a way I can tactfully phrase the message that 1, she's in the wrong and needs to apologize, and 2, she needs to actually see a professional? I know it seems like I don't know how to talk to my wife, but it's not that. I'm just scared because her mental health is so fragile right now, and I'm her biggest rock and support. Therapy is free through her work. A comment made me realize I should point this out. I am also actively seeking employment. I'm not a bum-ass husband sucking off her like a leech. I have only been unemployed/laid off for 2 weeks right now.
My husband M36 expressed support for my 30F upcoming surgery, but then I found him crying alone about it. Advice: hello, throw it away as I don't want this getting back to friends or family. I 30F have a history breast cancer in my family. I have lost my mother and aunt to it. I am thus far cancer-free, but I am going forward with a double mastectomy just to be cautious. After months of looking into it, I am deciding to go flat post-surgery rather than undergo breast reconstruction. This post is not to ask if I should go through with it or any such thing. It is happening. I want advice on my husband 34M. He is sweet, caring. He treats me like an absolute queen. He has been nothing but amazing our entire 7-year relationship. I know it sounds like I'm exaggerating, but I don't want to read dozens of comments about how he's a piece of shit, and I deserve better. A few months ago, I approached my husband with the news. We have of course discussed the surgery, but he didn't know about my recovery plans. I sat him down, explained my plans, and waited for him to respond. He was quiet for a moment and looked relieved and said he would love me no matter what. He seemed fine, but over the past few months he's been a bit off. He is very clingy/huggy when we have sex, and he pays my chest a lot more attention. A few times we've been lying in bed after and he'll just put his head on my chest, look at me, and say never change. The surgery date is 6 weeks out and he's been a little distant. He's not ignoring me or anything, but I'm used to him being very excitable and physically affectionate. However, we've been more like roommates the last few weeks, a quiet, polite hi, bye, how was your day? But he is not acting like a partner. I came home early from a family event. He said he was feeling sick and I wanted to come home and take care of him. And I found him sitting alone in our room, drunk and sobbing. He doesn't drink at all. His mother was an alcoholic and did a number on him growing up. Before it's even asked, yes, he is in therapy. I asked him if he was okay, and he kind of word vomited on me, but from what I understand, he thinks everything in our lives has been perfect, and now I'm ruining it. It's been a few days and he apologized profusely and said he is going through some things and it was not my responsibility to deal with. He has made an effort to be more affectionate and reassuring to me, but I can tell his heart isn't really in it. I'm not really sure what to do. The only thing I can think is wrong is my surgery, but the more I think about it, the more pissed I become. He's had months and months to think about it and voice any concerns, not throw a drunken tantrum by himself. I would be more upset with him, but there's never even been a hint of this kind of behavior. I guess I'm just confused about what I should do. We have talked about it, but he just says it's not anything to do with me and shuts down further discussion. Am I the asshole for telling my stepkids that the house is mine, your father left it to me and you are never getting it? I'm using stepkids to make it clearer. My husband passed away. I married him when his kids were all adults. They have never been nice to me since they see my husband replacing his late wife. Tide has been a shit show with them. They have never respected that I am married to him. Any wedding invites or events, they made it clear I was not wanted. Agreement after argument. A few years ago, I told him to stop fighting with them about letting me come to events. When he goes out, I'll vet a spa or something. This whole situation made him very angry at his kids, and when he passed, everything went to me. This included the kids' childhood home. Ever since, they have been on my ass about selling it at one of the kids. They want to the home in the family. They have made it very clear they don't think I am family, even if I am their father's widow. I got another call about it. I had enough and told them that the house is mine, that your father left it to his widow, and you are never getting it. That called me an asshole. I want to see if I am being a bitch about it since I have bias.
I am 24, made a Word document with all the rules of Valentine's Day, and now my GFEF 23 is upset. Okay, so here's the issue. Ivan 24 been with my GFEF 23 for a year. We began our relationship on October 2022. When February 2023 came around, she told me that I had to ask her to be my Valentine. I thought it was a bit odd since we were already in a relationship, but I still asked her anyway another day by text. 2 days before Valentine's, she calls me crying because apparently I didn't ask her right. Apparently you have to do it in person or else it doesn't count. I didn't even know Valentine's Day had rules so specific, but I stepped in to fix it anyway. I visited her a day before Valentine, brought her a small gift, and asked her to be my Valentine. All good. Now a year later, February 2024, I remember that I have to ask her to be my Valentine. What I didn't remember is that it needed to be in person. She was sad that I didn't remember, so I stepped in again and fixed it. Picked her from work and gave her a small gift, asking her in person. Valentine's Day rolls in, I buy her 5 yellow flowers that I thought looked pretty, a vibrator, and a book that she likes but couldn't get. Everything on the date seemed alright, she seemed happy. A week later, this Sunday, she told me that she needed to talk to me, so we planned to talk on Monday night as soon as I came home from college. I called her and she was crying. She told me that I should remember how I had to ask her to be my Valentine from last year, how the flowers were the wrong color, how the flowers didn't even look like romantic flowers and just some flowers with a few leaves that I plucked from somewhere, how I should have given her a gift that she was actually waiting to receive instead of a vibrator, etc. At the end, I just said that I will do better. To be honest, I didn't even know Valentine's Day was so complicated. I didn't know there were so many specific rules and restrictions about what to do and what to gift. I have to ask her to be my Valentine, but only if it's before Valentine's Day and only if it's in person. I have to give her flowers, but only if they are red and only if they look like a romantic flower arrangement. I have to give her a gift, but only if it's a gift that she had previously mentioned that she wanted such gift and only if it can be shared to her mom. Man, what the fuck? I'm just trying to be a good boyfriend. Where does she get all of these specific rules and restrictions? Is this like a normal thing that women expect? Where do they even learn all this from rom-coms and Instagram reels? I'm not trying to be sexist. I just want to know where I can read the rules of this fucking game. This might sound like I don't love her. I do love her and she makes super happy. I'm just tired of being told that I'm doing things the wrong way. I really thought that being romantic was about the intention, not the action within a list of parameters. So today I made a Word document in which I wrote every detail that I remembered. I know, kinda weird, but I really needed to have all of these Valentine's Day rules written somewhere. I don't want her to call me crying again because I forgot to wear the appropriate shoes or because the flowers didn't have the correct number of petals. I sent her the Word document so she can verify that all the rules are written clearly, and she just got more upset because this doesn't feel right. I don't understand how to do better. Thank you all for your kind responses. I needed some outside perspectives because I didn't feel like it was fair to ask her to lower her standards, you know. Also, I genuinely wasn't trying to be sexist. I too see some Instagram reels where boyfriends go absolutely romantic with their partners, and I wanted to know if women make real expectations out of those. Again, thank you for your kindness. Okay, a lot of people are asking what did she do for me on V-Day. She gave me a small Lego set as a gift, which I liked. But the rest of the day, I was the lead on the V-Day date. I took her to a park with little boats that you can ride, and I took her to a restaurant. I never thought she had to do something too. She always says I have to be the one who plans stuff so she doesn't have to make stressful decisions thinking about dates.